tell us a little bit about when you started Pynk magazine and decided to become an entrepreneur.
I started as a publicist, and I was working with different artists and different brands, you know, after time and just having ideas that I felt like weren't being heard and things that I wanted to do. A client that I was working with at the time, who then became my business partner, he actually owned another magazine. So he and I talked, and then we decided to partner up and start Pynk.
And what year was this?
The idea came about maybe in like 2009. We didn't become a real thing until 2011, 2012. But we're conceptualizing and playing around with things, but we didn't physically print a copy until 2011, 2012.
So since you've launched the magazine, you also do Pynk Power dinners, events. Talk to us about those events, these dinners that you have.
Our dinners are huge. So the thing about Pynk that kind of set us apart was that we really focused really heavy on events really early, because it was the only way. We had no money. Like, truth of the matter, we didn't have tons of money. So it was, how do we, you know, not skip a step, but how do we don't have tons of ad dollars to spend. So what do we do to make sure that, you know, we kind of come in and put our mark and our stamp on things and let people know really what we're about, what type of women we are, and just the vibe of the brand and kind of what we're doing.
Talk about like how you conceptualize the branding, the marketing around this brand.
The things that we, you know, choose to do or that we curate, it really comes from my business partner, Mecca Claxton, and I, and it's really reflective of us, you know, our real personalities and things that we like and things that we're into. So we sit on the phone and we brainstorm, and, you know, I have an awesome peer group and, you know, my friends, and we, you know, we kind of talk and throw things in the hat about things that we truthfully feel are missing in the marketplace, and then that's what we try to create.
Was it a hard transition to go from publicist to full-time entrepreneur, running your own brand?
It was insanely hard, but I think the hardest part was figuring out how to find funding. So I think once we started to do our dinners and people, you know, it became very visible. This was right around when Instagram was becoming a thing, you know, like it was so important to be on Instagram. People were starting to see pictures from these dinners and everybody wanted to attend, and brands would reach out and ask how to be a part of. So it was a transition. It was a bumpy one for a second, but I should be truthful, it was a quick second, because once people really started to see what we were about, what we represented, and the type of women that we were associated with, people were all in, for sure.
What's next for Pynk?
Oh, everything. So Pynk is just the starting point of everything that we want to do. You know, I always say, I shouldn't say it, but I always say we're still in beta mode, because we have tons of plans and ideas, and Mecca and I are actually working on a documentary with our friend Janaea and another friend of ours, Ray Holiday. So there's a lot that's gonna come very soon, and I'm getting married,
and we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that.
She did.
Okay, so it was a collaborative effort, right? We worked with an awesome company. They're based here. Their name's Engaging Invites. But they were so awesome, and they dealt with all my crazy, because I was emailing them at 2 in the morning. I had all these ridiculous ideas that they just were like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But they were awesome. So yeah. So I guess to answer your question, that was mine. Okay, me.
Yeah. Our first trip we ever took was to Dubai. So we just started traveling after that to Italy, Rome, Paris, Cayman Islands, Spain.
Some of our best times and the most fun we've had, I think, has been some of our travel, right?
Yeah, and we just had like videos from our phone, so
yeah, all
of the videos and the invitation was all from my phone. Like I just downloaded it to the computer, used iMovie, and put it together. Very good.
Okay, so it's New York, right? So who doesn't love New York pizza?
Everybody loves pizza.
And I think initially I'm like, how do we like set the tone for like the vibe of our wedding? Because we just want to have a lot of fun and we just want to chill, and it'll be like a real like New York good time. So pizza it was.
The budget is gone.
Our budget,
you had an idea.
We're not gonna say a number, because Emily Post would be against it if we did. Our budget is somewhere between, what did Tyler say?
A Range Rover.
Okay, there we go.
And a Bentley.
Our budget is somewhere in between a Range Rover and a Bentley. Tips for other people planning a wedding.
You first.
Elope. I would truthfully say, pay attention to that budget. You know, set your budget and try to stay as closely to it because it can get crazy. I wasn't one of those women who dreamed of this grand wedding day.
You didn't want a fairy tale wedding?
I didn't want the wedding, just so we're clear. Groomzilla over here wanted the wedding.
I wanted a big party, and I think she puts parties together very well. So we just gonna have a bigger party than our normal small parties that we have in the house.
I will say, I think whatever you do, make sure you do it for you and your mate. Let it be about you. Let it be about your relationship and your union. I think our wedding will just be very reflective of us.
Ever felt